Tonight at 5, 911 calls released from Charlotte after a gunman opens fire on campus. A closer look at the terrifying experience those students went through. And
it's a dangerous job patrolling our state's highways. Law enforcement agencies across the country have been struggling to fill their ranks, which is why it's an optimal time to show you what drives our state's newest class of troopers.
Plus, from how we shop to what we read and who's at your front door, Amazon knows even more than we first thought about our private lives.
This is WRAL News, your #1 source for local news.
it's hurricane season in Raleigh.
There's an energy that comes with being in the playoffs.
It feels amazing.
The month of May is here, and the Jerk Store remains open.
Oh, a storm is brewing tonight in a good way. The Carolina Hurricanes are getting ready for Game 4 against the New York Islanders in the Stanley Cup playoffs. Thank you for joining us. I'm Deborah Morgan.
And I'm David Crabtree. If they win tonight, they'll sweep the Islanders in this best-of-7 series.
WRAL's Mandy Mitchell is live at PNC Arena. And Mandy, it seems like you have the best assignment of the day.
I've had the best assignment for the last couple of weeks. Now, who would have thought it would have lasted this long? Of course, the Canes barely got into the playoffs, and now they've had this very long run. The fans just enjoying the ride. And check out this group of fans right here. This is 4 generations of Canes fans, and they're all going to go to the game and enjoy the game. Longtime hockey fans. This is Perry. Perry, what is this like to have your father, your son, your grandson all here for this?
A memory I'll cherish forever. Not too many people get this opportunity, and I have it, and I love it. Can't wait.
And your family has been always playing hockey, right?
Yes, my dad started in Cleveland, Ohio, and my son and I over in Connecticut and Cleveland, Kent State University. We're now down here in North Carolina where there's playoffs in North Carolina. We love it.
All right. They also started as Whalers fans, by the way, so these are long-time Canes fans. I've seen some brooms out here in the parking lot. These guys don't have their brooms. They do have the Stanley Cup, however. So they are getting ready for a very big game tonight. Of course, the Canes can wrap this up tonight if they get a win. Deborah and David, back to you.
Oh, we can't wait for that. It's going to be good. Thank you, Mandy.
Great. A nice look outside there. Let's take a live look now in Fayetteville as well, because it was a warm spring day today. Sun has been shining there, though it's been a little milky over the Woodpecker Stadium this afternoon. Mike May's joining us now with a preview of what could happen for the weekend.
Yeah, and that's one location that did see some showers earlier, David. It looks like it's pretty much dry there right now. Take a look at the radar view. You can't help but notice the yellow polygon to our north and west. There's the potential for severe weather up there. We're not expecting anything like that around here this evening. The showers pulse up, they die down, they pulse back up. So if you're heading to the Bulls game and in Durham and also in the Canes game, there's just a small chance for a shower into the evening. There is some of the activity in western Chatham County right now. A little outflow boundary moving through Johnston County, helping to develop a shower over 4 Oaks. We're going to continue with these showers as we head through the evening. Now, let's take a look at your Saturday. Tomorrow morning, if you're heading to Coleman Triangle Race for the Cure, we're expecting the low clouds and overcast like we have this morning. At this point, 68. It's dry. Lunchtime, partly cloudy, 80. And by 5 o'clock, we're looking for partly cloudy skies, the high about 86. During this time period, there's about a 20% chance that a thunderstorm could pop up, so the chance is rather slim, but it picks up by 9 o'clock. Thunderstorms likely at this point 77, and there's the likelihood they could be severe. We're on a level 1-2 risk for tomorrow evening and tomorrow night for damaging winds, large hail, and some heavy rain. We'll outline this, plus take a look at what's happening on Sunday in full weather in a few minutes. David?
Okay, Mike, thank you.
You can stay updated on changing conditions with the WRAL Weather app. Receive alerts based on your location. The WRAL Weather app is available for Apple and Android devices.
A Morrisville man now accused of multiple sex crimes with a child. According to the arrest warrant, 25-year-old Matthew McPherson committed sexual acts with a 12-year-old. Those acts included a rape. Authorities say this happened between May and August of last year. He is charged with several sexual offenses and being held on a bond of $2 million. A Campbell University football player is charged with sex offenses. That's according to the Harnett County Sheriff's Office. That student is listed on the 2018 Campbell football roster. Rozier Best is charged with offenses including a rape. His bond is $250,000.
Today, we're hearing the frantic 911 calls from people on the UNC Charlotte campus. They called for help when gunshots rang out on campus on Wednesday. 2 people died, 21-year-old Riley Howell and 19-year-old Ellis Parlier. Many of the students who called 911 didn't see what happened, but word quickly spread on campus.
We were walking outside and someone started yelling for, like, if there was a shooter.
Okay, have you seen the shooter?
I haven't seen them.
Do you know where he's at?
Last thing I heard was we was right outside the building Friday on campus and people were running.
Many of the callers were huddled inside campus buildings taking shelter during the lockdown. Former student Tristan Terrell is facing charges including murder. A memorial service is now set for Riley Howell, the UNC student who stopped the gunman. A memorial service will be held Sunday at 5 p.m. in the Stewart Auditorium at Lake Junaluska in Haywood County. A petition has been filed asking for Howell to be honored for his heroism with a military funeral. Howell was also an ROTC cadet. That petition already has more than 18,000 signatures. The goal is 100,000 by May 31st.
Extra security day for a Wake County High School following a threat on social media. Wakefield High and Raleigh sent a letter to parents yesterday saying someone had made a vague threat against the school on Instagram. Raleigh police investigating the source of the account. Threatening a school can result in criminal prosecution.
A statewide shortage of troopers. The Highway Patrol has about 225 vacancies. Patrol leaders say recruiting has been a challenge for law enforcement across the country. Today, nearly 36 troopers joined the force. WRAL's Brian Mims shows us their passion to be on patrol.
Just short of 1,400 troopers patrol our state's highways. That's more than 200 short of fully staffed. It's an inherently dangerous job, but one that comes with a fast car and big, shiny shoes to fill. Those shoes, they're impossibly shiny. Their uniforms so well put together. Their frames, their faces have a chiseled look. The road these 34 new troopers are about to travel is littered with leadfoots and drivers who've had a few too many. It's sometimes crossed with those on the run, raring for a fight with the law.
Over the last 19 months, unfortunately, we've buried 5 state troopers. So to have a graduation today to add to our numbers, it's a blessing.
5 of Colonel Glenn McNeil's troopers have died on duty statewide in the last year and a half. And yet, 25-year-old Anthony Cox, daddy of 8-month-old Riley, says, "Here am I."
Just the professionalism of being a trooper. I have a passion for keeping the roadways safe, removing impaired drivers from the roadways, and making a difference in my community.
Colonel McNeil says back when he joined 26 years ago, 2,000 candidates vied for 70 positions. For this graduating class, only about 400 applied. He says high-profile tragedies and the perceived low pay have steered people away from the badge.
People don't so much want to take that risk for the pay. But all of the folks that I know, we don't get into this business for pay. It's a calling.
With 3 months of strenuous training done, these troopers will hit the road earning about $44,000 a year.
I was a high school agriculture teacher before this.
But Ted Clayton knew his true calling. He and his wife knew full well the dangers.
It's something that we respect. It's something that we know is a possibility. But it's something that we can't let affect us or let us affect the service that we provide to the community.
And I'm just really praying for him every day.
Despite all the vacancies, a patrol spokesman says they won't put just anybody in those shiny shoes. We graduate by quality, not quantity. Brian Mims, WRAL News, Raleigh.
The Highway Patrol is looking at ways to make the training a little shorter, but no less rigorous to get the troopers on the road faster. The agency is losing about 7 troopers a month to retirements and others leaving the patrol.
The death of a Raleigh high school student has been ruled a suicide following a car crash. It was in October that Madeline Shook was driving 95 miles per hour on Possum Track Road when she crashed into a tree. She died at the scene. Investigators found a suicide letter in her bedroom. Shook was a student at Cardinal Gibbons High School. If you or someone you know is struggling with thoughts of suicide, get to your phone. Take a picture of this phone number because you can call for help. This number can also be found on our website.
Today, a mother spoke out against North Korea after she lost her son. Leaders in Washington, D.C. met today to address North Korea's abduction of Chinese, South Korean, and American nationals. Otto Warmbier's mother spoke at the seminar. Her son was arrested in North Korea in 2016 after taking a poster from his hotel. He was sentenced to 15 years hard labor. He died shortly after his release, days after being returned to the U.S. in a comatose state.
My gorgeous boy, who every girl had an immediate crush on, looked like a monster.
She went on to say the U.S. needs to keep the pressure on North Korea. The discussion also included talks about nuclear and missile issues and international cooperation.
Well, when you have cancer, like Pam Cole, you count the days between when you have radioactive liquid pushed into your veins.
Kind of an odd looking forward to your scan, but you just want to get it done.
As we continue Pam's story, I'll explain the agonizing wait and how scary it is when treatments to fight cancer stop working. That story tonight at 5:30.
Also, Facebook making a lot of changes. We'll show you one feature some people are actually calling creepy.
Also, warn your children to watch their behavior, how some teachers are using the Avengers for revenge.
Friday is all new on WRAL. At 8, it's a new episode of The Blacklist, followed by an all-new Dateline NBC at 9 and WRAL News at 11.
I'm Mark Boyle on the Live Center. A multi-state roundup nets dozens of people. Let's start with this right here. 82 people arrested in the multi-state child operation, and 82 of those people arrested, 17 children rescued, focusing on people who possess or distribute child pornography. Some of those people arrested, according to investigators, a youth minister, students, and even a firefighter. Here in North Carolina, 6 people were arrested. Let's talk about some of those people. Let's start here with David Kimball. He was arrested for a tip, according to investigators, for sharing pictures peer-to-peer. And then Paul Sullivan, this is a picture of him, and he was actually in court today. Take a look at your screen right here. Investigators say information led to his arrest from a Kik messaging app that a pornographic image of a young girl had been uploaded. He is being held on $3 million bond. Adam Owens was in court and will have his story coming up all new tonight at 6 o'clock. Back to you.
Mark, thank you. A 13-year-old boy has wowed tech experts and showed how vulnerable we are to hacking. Reuben Paul showed how easily he could hack a drone by taking control of it at the Global Cybersecurity Conference. He was able to fly the drone, use its camera, and download the data. Experts say it shows how vulnerable web-connected devices are to cyber attacks.
So young. Aren't you glad he's on the good guy's side, too? New privacy concerns for millions of people who use Amazon products and services. Experts believe Amazon now collects more of your personalized private data than any other company. Its shopping site tracks what you buy and browse. Prime Video tracks the videos you watch. Kindle monitors the books you read, even the passages you highlight. Amazon's Ring security can store videos of who shows up at your door. And now that Amazon owns Whole Foods, it may also know your grocery list. If you're concerned about Amazon having all your personal information, you can opt out of your personal data being collected in the privacy settings.
Big changes coming for Facebook. Brian Schrader now with what's in store and the new feature some people are calling creepy.
This week, Facebook announced a new design for its app, and the company says it's going to be faster and easier to use. It also highlights private messaging with your friends and in your groups. That new app is rolling out to users now, and the Facebook website is going to get a makeover in the next few months. Another big story from Facebook, the company is getting into the dating game. It's been testing a dating app for months in other countries, and it says the feedback has been pretty good. But the new matchmaking feature that has everyone talking, something called Secret Crush. Some people on social media say it's kind of creepy. Here's how it's going to work. You'll be able to select up to 9 of your friends in whom you have an interest. And if one of them likes you too, Facebook will notify you of the match. Those dating features are rolling out later this year. I'm Brian Schrader, WRAL News.
Facebook also tweaking some Instagram features. Look for a new camera design in the coming weeks. It's also testing a feature that would hide likes and video views from the public so only you can see them.
Students might want to think twice before acting up in class. Some teachers are using the Avengers to take revenge. Several teachers on social media say they will reveal plot points in the movie if students misbehave. One classroom whiteboard shows a teacher filling in the blanks as to what happens in the first 20 minutes. Another post says a teacher began to verbally reveal a plot to one student. Whoa, that'll change things in an instant.
Yeah, you know, I think we need to try that here.
Yeah.
Just one day.
Boy,
Yeah.
teachers have to get
Bring that
creative,
board
don't they?
over.
Yeah.
Yeah, we were
they
talking
do.
about Game of Thrones earlier. Ken Smith's on like season 6 and we're on season 8 and we're all talking about what happened this past weekend and Ken's like, I don't want to hear
Spoiler
it.
alert.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So don't want to spoil it. Don't want to spoil our weekend, but we do have rain chances out there. Doesn't look like it's going to be all that bad for tomorrow. I think Sunday is going to be the wettest day, tomorrow night as well. Let's take a look at our weather billboard. Today is the 5th Friday. Remember we were talking about all the Fridays in the month of April having rain? Well, this is the 5th Friday in a row where we do have showers and storms around. Now, so far, nothing has happened at RDU, but all we do is need a trace of rain at RDU to call it the 5th Friday in a row that we've seen rain. So let's zoom in eastern parts of Moore County, the northeastern part of Moore County, Goldston over in Chatham County, western Chatham County in general, seeing these showers. They're building up to the north and east. So there's Durham. So eventually some of that activity may make its way to the Durham Bulls Athletic Park, over toward West Raleigh, over toward the Canes PNC Arena. We're seeing some showers, isolated thunderstorms about the area. Smithfield, you're seeing a thunderstorm right now. You got the Ham and Yam Festival coming up tomorrow. 20-30% chance of rain. The likelihood of you getting wet tomorrow for this event is not all that great, but it's great that you'll see thunderstorms, a good chance Saturday night and during the day on Sunday. We've got a bit of an outflow boundary that's moving on by, and as this moves into Wake County, we may see some showers form with that. Now, as we expand the view, this is all moisture in association with that tropical system that we've been talking about for the past couple of days. Yesterday it was across Florida. That's where it's situated right now. And with the upper level ridge moving out, it's riding around the periphery of the ridge. It'll ride around the top of the ridge during the day tomorrow, and during the day on Sunday, it continues to move away. So that's a little bit of our influence today. Plus, we have good rising motion in the atmosphere, heating of the day, helping these showers pop up. Once we lose the heating of the day, they will die down. So at 6 o'clock, Futurecast showing a little bit of this activity. By 8, 9 o'clock, it's still lingering in the area, but after that point, we should see it die off. Overnight and toward daybreak, we're going to start to see that low cloudiness form again, perhaps some fog. It was thick in spots this morning. It will burn off by lunchtime tomorrow. There's noon. We look at partly cloudy skies at this point. No rain in the area. We have weak high pressure that'll be upon us, suppressing the atmosphere from really being able to develop widespread showers and storms. We're not going to rule out something popping up, but it's really not all that likely. This is what's likely as we head into the evening hours, a band of showers and thunderstorms. And this is where our level 1 and 2 risk for severe weather comes in. So after 8 o'clock in the evening tomorrow, we're going to watch to see if this line actually does form and advance into the area. It would have damaging wind gusts, the potential for hail, and some brief heavy rainfall. And since it's entering the area when we lose the heating of the day, it will gradually die down. So that's why the risk is greater off to the west from about Raleigh west. And you folks east of Raleigh have a lesser chance of seeing anything severe. There's 11 o'clock tomorrow night, and the activity is trending downward. So for this evening, we're watching out for showers. 84 was our high for the day. That's where we sit right now. The dew point 66, a little bit more humid out there. 77 right now at Fayetteville, 80 at Oxford, 80 in Siler City. Heading out this evening, a small chance for showers, maybe an isolated thunderstorm, staying in the 70s. By 11 o'clock, it's mostly cloudy, 72. Early showers, then fog forming toward daybreak, low clouds as well. We'll wake up to temperatures in the 60s. And if you're heading out to the frontier for the Coleman Triangle Race for the Cure, look for an overcast at 8 a.m. By 10 a.m., partly to mostly cloudy, and by lunchtime, partly cloudy, about 80. And tomorrow will be warmer, mid and upper 80s. I put in an isolated thunderstorm symbol just in case something pops up, but we're really not expecting it. We're not expecting it until the evening. There's your 7-day forecast. Saturday night and Sunday feature the best chances for storms. Sunday 77, 80 on Monday, maybe more storms coming up next week. But Deb, we're going to have to watch Saturday night and Sunday for the best chance for rain.
All right, we certainly will. Thank you, Mike. An autistic teenager with serious burns on his back and arm. WRAL investigates the injuries his family says happened at home that's supposed to be taking care of him. Tonight at 6. First, local restaurants with low health ratings, meat stored in grocery bags, raw eggs at room temperatures, and camping equipment used to cook. 5 on Your Side has this week's restaurant report. A restaurant using camping equipment to cook. That's what a health inspector recently found.
Here's 5 on your side's Monica La Liberty with this week's restaurant sanitation report.
The lowest scoring restaurant this week, Honest Abe's Kitchen and Bar in Raleigh. Beef, chicken, and pasta did not have use-by dates. Hand sinks did not have soap, and wiping cloths were not sanitized. Honest Abe scored 81, barely a B, and a drop from its previous 92 and 90. Next, Cocina Mexicana in Apex. Employees handled tortillas with bare hands, meats were stored in grocery bags, and food containers were greasy. Cocina Mexicana scored 83.5, a B. Before that, 89 and 96. Next, Grounds Cafe inside the Wendell Falls Community Center. Ham was expired, raw eggs were room temperature, and being cooked on a hot plate used for camping. That's not allowed. Also, employees were not wearing hair restraints. Grounds Cafe scored 85.5, a B, previously 96 and 97. Next, Chopsticks in Raleigh's Creedmoor Crossings. Dumplings were out of temperature. An employee handled rice with bare hands. Also, the dish machine was dirty. Chopsticks got an 87B, earlier 96.5 and 93.5. Finally, Latin American Foods in Durham. Refrigerated food wasn't cold enough. An employee washed his hands in a food prep sink, and lemon bleach was used to sanitize. Scented bleach is not permitted around food. Latin American Food scored 87, a B. Before that, 91.5 and 95. Monica La Liberty, WRAL News 5 on your side.
Now, when re-inspected, Honest Abe's, Cocina Mexicana, Grounds Cafe, and Chopsticks all received an A.
Ooh. Governor Cooper has declared the month of May as Hepatitis Awareness Month. Chronic viral hepatitis affects more than 230,000 people in North Carolina. State health experts are encouraging people to be tested for hepatitis A, B, and C. Many people do not realize they're infected until they have symptoms.
This weekend, breast cancer survivors and supporters uniting to continue the fight for a cure. The annual Komen Race for the Cure is tomorrow at the Frontier and RTP. First race is at 8. This year's event has already raised more than $642,000. WRAL is a proud sponsor.
Catherine Brown is here now with what's coming up at 5:30. Kat?
Well, Deborah, Durham County says there is a minimal risk of asbestos exposure at the site of that downtown Durham explosion. But today, we're hearing from an expert who is not convinced that's true. The questions she is raising ahead at 5:30. Plus.
This is the 38th annual Very Special Arts Festival. What is it all about?
This is the time for our kids to shine and share all the things and wonderful things they can do.
You'll hear from the students and staff about what a great time they had today.